Hey everyone, it's Roxanne Danielle as Dr. Rox, and I am here to talk a little bit more with you about Love Said F You Too. If you do not have a copy of the book, you need to go ahead and get it because it has a lot of good material, which we're going to talk a little bit about today. I'm going to talk about a specific chapter in my book that I keep finding and running into with the people that I deal with, and it's called Love Said You Are Not Too Busy for Love. A lot of times, we are busy. We have children, we have careers, we have a lot of things going on in our households and our personal lives. So we like to use the term, I'm too busy for love, as an excuse to get out of the dating situation. I used to be that way too. And my uncle told me, he said, well, what are you going to do? You're going to wait till you're 40 years old in the prime of your career and your kids are all grown, and then you're going to go look for somebody to be with? And I'm like, well, that's not what I meant when I said it, but I mean, if that's what it's going to be, then that's what it's going to be. Like, trying to make every excuse for why, like, he was supposedly sounding stupid, but he didn't. I realized that I had emotional baggage, and this chapter talks about that kind of baggage. It says, you are not too busy, but maybe you are too bossy. Maybe you are too bitter. Maybe you are too basic, and maybe you are too bitchy. So when you take the word busy out, are you, I'm too bitter for love? I'm too basic for love? I'm too bossy for love? Or I'm too bitchy for love, which is actually one of my favorite ones. But at the end of the day, when you take that word busy out, do we really get left with our own accountability on why it is that we have not found love or we are not seeking out love? So in the chapter, we talk a little bit about, of course, like I said, there are circumstances where all of us aren't looking for love. Some of us are just enjoying our lives, and we've been through situations, we've been in love, and we're not bitter or angry. We're just not looking for it. Women do not have to be defined by a mate or having a mate. So I definitely understand, and I vouch for that. But a good portion of us want companionship, and if we don't already have it, there are sometimes limiting factors that play a role on our part. Now, that's not to excuse anything that the male has done. He could be a jackass. I mean, I've met plenty of jackasses in my day. But it's to say, let's take accountability. What could our part be? In some people's cases, they're too bossy. They're the type of women who just kind of want to be in charge all the time, and you do what I say, and I make the money, and I make the rules, and if you can't do it my way, I'm out. Now, that's an extreme example, but there are those situations where women are like that, and sometimes a male feels emasculated, which I'm still trying to figure out what it means to feel emasculated as a male. It's like a woman who puts a man down, she has emasculated him, but if a man puts a woman down, he has put her in her place. I'm not sold on that concept. It's a double standard, so I don't know, maybe I'm bossy, I don't care. Anyway, and then we have women who are bitchy, always nag, what are you doing, where are you going, why are you coming in so late, why didn't you spend time with me, bitch, moan. And I can understand how that can get frustrating. And then we have the people who are kind of basic. I mean, you follow trends. I mean, nothing about your life is your own. Do you have your own mind? Is there anything about these type of women that belongs to themselves, from their hair to their makeup to their long, Nicki Minaj hairstyles? I mean, that's kind of basic, and that means you're really a dime a dozen. And then we have the people who are bitter. And bitterness is a hard one to fight because sometimes we don't like to admit that we're a little bitter from our previous experiences, previous relationships, things that we thought was actually going to work out and then they didn't work out. And now we're scarred and there's an emotional trauma. So anyway, the book talks about all of that, talks about the truths. It talks about how we can improve ourselves as women. And just don't get me wrong, just because you are improving yourself as a woman doesn't mean you have to take unnecessary crap from a man. Just putting it out there to be in love and to, really be in love with somebody who genuinely loves you back. You don't have to do a whole bunch of compromising to change yourself into the person that they think you should be. That's just my perspective on the whole situation. But again, the book is on sale at drroxstudios.com. That's Dr. DOCTOR Rox, ROX Studios, STUDIOS.com. Get your book so we can keep having these conversations about it. I'm very excited about the book. Have a good one. Bye.